We all make mistakes, but the most important factor at any age is our resilience in the face of adversity. Having said that, there are certain financial mistakes to avoid at every age. In this video, we'll take a look at some dangerous money traps to avoid in your life. You're still figuring out who you are and what you want to do with your life in your 20s. The sooner you learn to estimate the financial impact of your decisions, the easier it will be to weigh and plan for those decisions. For example, high school seniors frequently believe that the large salary they will receive after graduation will easily pay off the money they borrowed for college. In reality, that salary is entry level, and you will have other significant expenses when you first start out. It's too late by the time they get their first job and receive their first bill. A little research before making a college decision could help you avoid a financial burden. There are numerous life and financial decisions that you can make in your 20s that will have a long-term impact on you. Assume you complete your education without incurring large debts. When it comes to your first career job, you need everything. You want furniture for your new apartment, clothes for the office, and possibly even a car to get you there, but you haven't received your first paycheck yet. You have the opportunity to live cheaply and save if you don't have a family to provide for or a partner to plan with. Living on less is never easier than when you're first starting out. Skipping conversations with a partner about their financial plans is a big money no-no when you get serious with them. It only takes one person who is reckless with their spending to derail your financial goals. While wedding planning is exciting and hyped as your day, be realistic about the trade-offs for spending a large amount of money on a big party. Starting married life with a lot of debt from a party puts a strain on the relationship, especially if it wasn't something you both thought was a priority. This is the first of many financial decisions you and your team will make together. Don't underestimate the value of starting life together debt-free. Starting a family is also an expensive endeavor. When considering all the ways a baby will change your life, many couples overlook the financial aspect. One child costs an average of $233,610 per family. You're only getting started, and retirement seems a long way away. However, the habits you develop today can pave the way for a much easier future. Credit is both simple and dangerous. If you rely heavily on credit cards to fund your lifestyle, you should stop right now. One of your primary objectives should be to build good credit. If you are making late or missed payments on any of your bills, it is time to make a plan. You've already made a lot of financial decisions in your 30s. If you are struggling with high-interest debt, getting rid of it should be your top priority. The most difficult challenge in your 30s is avoiding lifestyle creep. The Joneses are expanding their home, and you want one for your growing family as well. You will gain financial flexibility if you can avoid being house poor. Lenders will lend you far more money than you can afford. They will tell you that you can handle a mortgage of up to 28% of your gross monthly income, and that interest rates are low, allowing you to get a lot for your money. However, larger houses come with higher taxes, homeowners association dues, lawns that must be maintained, and space that must be heated, cooled, and cleaned. If you make the effort to live in a neighborhood with wealthier families, you will be under constant pressure to maintain an image. But what about the children? Children. We want them to be content. The activities, sports, and birthday parties are endless, and they want everything. Of course, you will indulge them to some extent, but make investing a priority. Sometimes parents feel obligated to say yes in order for their children to have everything their peers have. Your children will keep asking until you say no. Unless you tell them, they have no idea about your financial difficulties. You are the responsible adult. It's good for them to understand that you can't afford everything. You are not a cash tree. It may be tempting now that you have a large balance to raid your retirement account for a home remodel or to change your strategy to prioritize college expenses that are approaching. Some people see the end of their mortgage in sight and want to redirect retirement funds toward paying off their largest monthly bill. These are almost always bad ideas. Borrowing for college is permitted, but not for retirement. You will lose the momentum and benefit of compound interest if you borrow from your retirement account for any reason. If interest rates are low, it may make sense to refinance your home to a 15-year loan rather than a 30-year loan. However, refinancing for another 30 years for a lower monthly payment is not in your best interests. You will defer your payments until retirement. Examine your emergency fund to ensure it is adequate to cover any major life changes. As your income or family size has grown, you may require more savings. Start talking to your parents about their finances and health if you haven't already. You are part of the sandwich generation, which means you are responsible for both children and aging parents. Consider your own estate in the long run and how it relates to these obligations. Unfortunately, many couples divorce at this age, so you should make sure you're covered. Don't fall into the trap of entrusting everything to one spouse. Make certain that you both understand the intricacies of your revenue and expenses. Check in on budgeting and family spending, particularly large purchases. The most common myth about your 50s is that it is too late. If you haven't already planned for retirement, it's too late. A late start is preferable to none at all, and the steps you take over the next 15 years will provide you with options and prepare you for the best possible outcome. Many people's plans change at this stage of life for a variety of reasons, and job loss can be especially difficult to recover from. You may decide to take a break from work due to difficulties with aging parents or simply because you need one. It can be difficult to cut the purse strings with adult children, and you don't want to see them suffer. However, consider whether you want to be financially dependent on them in 20 years. That could be your reality if you financially support them at the expense of your own retirement. If you are still in debt, make sure that any plans you make to deal with it are aimed at getting rid of the right kind of debt. Prior to paying off a mortgage, high-interest debt should be addressed. Paying off low-interest mortgage debt rather than saving can jeopardize your retirement. There is still time to grow your savings, and you can contribute more to your IRA with make-up contributions in your 50s. Making early withdrawals from retirement is the worst financial mistake you can make in your 50s. You don't even have to be investing very conservatively at this point. While you should not overestimate your future earnings, you should also not underestimate your remaining years. People expect to require less income in retirement. You'll have paid off the house and the kids will be grown. However, you must plan to support yourself for the next 30 years after you retire. The simple truth is that Social Security will not cover it. Review your insurance and estate plan in your 50s and look into long-term care insurance. Nearly half of all people over the age of 65 will require nursing care, and even if it is only for the last few years of your life, the cost can easily exceed $100,000 per year. When one spouse requires palliative care, the other is frequently left with depleted finances to cover several more years of life. How are things going for you? Are you on the right track? Were there any surprises? If you're getting a tax refund or a stimulus check, we hope it motivates you to get a head start on paying down high-interest debt or saving for retirement to kickstart the habit. It's tempting to spend any windfall, whether from the government or inherited money, on something enjoyable. However, if you use those funds to improve your financial situation, you will have more room for fun on a regular basis. Being in charge of your finances allows you to spend money on fun things whenever you want, not just because you were fortunate. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you with another interesting video.